I've been running this gargoyle briefly. I don't need a. That's not super important. Just a gargoyle that I'm planning on playing mage with. Um, but it's been a very interesting game, and I wanted to share two things. First things first. This character has just hit a power spike over a power spike and is likely to win the game based on that, or at least be powerful enough. And the thing I wanted to share is the way a character looks when you win the game and the way a character looks to get there. This character has access to the following things in the dungeon once I get the money for it: a book of flames to help me bridge out to a book of fire, an axe of int +5, a rapier of will +++, an int +10 see invis evade bonus strength ring with 2 lost to dex. Yeah, that. So once I'm wearing that, using these spells and dominating the game, it's gonna look like, you got lucky, you got a really cool ring. I've never seen a ring that good in a game. That's how you won. But to get to that point, you guys don't understand how hard this game has been. It's taken me 48 minutes just to get to, where am I now? D6, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 7th floor I've just entered. So just to clear 6 floors, it's taken 48 minutes because I've been extremely careful. I happen to be on a streak at the moment. I don't remember how good a streak, but I'm on a streak right now. Yeah, 3 streak. So naturally I'm trying to play a little bit more cautiously. And literally from right at the beginning of the game, look at all these dead bodies right next to the front door and beneath it and above it. I just kept getting attacked. And in order to survive when you have 4 magic darts, you have to be very cautious. You have to tiptoe forward, take a shot, and then immediately start backing into the few spaces you have, but not so far. The moment you see these forks, you have to guesstimate the statistical probability is higher that you're going to reveal more enemies and then stand your ground, but not stand your ground, futilely, and then, nose out a little bit when you're at full, and then attract an enemy, but then back off. I spent a while just being very careful here because that's what you have to do when you have no other resource. And it was like that for most of this floor, just kind of very cautiously approaching the game. Um, Let me see if I can remember stories as I go down another floor. Oh, this floor was hell. Do you see all of these knolls? So one of these doors had a knoll pack on it, and no, that was the next floor. This one I think there was a named unique. Did I do Sigmund on this floor? Hang on, let's actually do a dump real quick and pull up the morgue. You guys can't see my morgue unless let me click this button. There we go. Now you can see the morgue. Maybe it'll help me recall the stories. On floor 2, no. On floor 2, I was impressed by the stores that I found, but uh, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, D4 is where I kind of looked to Sigmund, so it's not here. Okay, never mind. Let's flip back to the game real quick. I should put this out here. Okay. How do I share this tab instead? Is that an option? Oh, whoops. There's still enemies. No, go away. I'm trying to do a thing. So, just cautiously clearing this floor. I guess this one wasn't as bad as I remember it being, and apparently it was. I guess I had to. That's what it was. I had to flee the knoll in the end because I wasn't able to take it on with my pathetic low-level magic dart and nothing else. My imps kept bouncing around. Number of times I would have to retreat because of that. On this floor, I think the big thing that happened was there was an ice beast, and my knoll kept dying to it. Also, this little altar here had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus undead. So you can't take out undeads with magic dart effectively. You could with Conjure Flame, but A, I didn't memorize Conjure Flame yet, and B, Conjure Flame requires you to stand your ground behind it, which makes you very, very vulnerable. So trying to peel off 1 and 2 at a time to this staircase while not getting ambushed was really freaking hard. Um, but you pull it off eventually. And oh yeah, about that time is when I found these shops, and suddenly mentally my tension is ratcheted up because you really don't want to die when you see that kind of loot. But this floor, and I remember when I dug into the temple on 4 and saw Gazog, and I'm like, that's the choice. But I could only make that Gazog decision because I'd seen all these shops that have all this other loot. Um, and I'm fine. I think I also got my fireball here, but fireball was at 50% or something. It wasn't happening. Notice all these marked staircases? That's because the next floor was devastating. On this floor, there was a centaur and an ogre. You can't hover around because the ogre could club you. You can't go in and out because the centaur will peg you from range. So I gave up on this staircase. This one, a null pack was near the door. No, this one. This one had a null pack. One of them had a null pack. I forget which one. The other one, let's call it this one for now. No. This was the one that had a null pack near the door, and at one point I started to stand my ground here because I thought I could get a few more pot shots in, and quickly got attacked by 3 and 4 enemies here. So I had to back off, which meant I ran out of my poison darts and jabs, which means I only have my pathetic magic dart capability. So I came back to here, cleared off the null pack by Mephitic Cloud and Caution, and just as I'm about to celebrate finally getting a foothold into this floor, a Lemure shows up. Now, I know a Lemure means that Pykel is close behind. And Lemures are, I don't think, vulnerable to Mephitic Clouds, so what the hell are you going to do? You can't take them all on with a dagger of speed, so I pull one of them up, attack him, but when I come down, it's too late. Pykel is 2 squares away. Mephitic Cloud, you run away, didn't succeed, and now you're locked out because there's 2 Lemures and Pykel waiting for you. They can kill you by the time you go down and back up again, because until your bonuses kick in, gargoyles have low AC. This one is locked out by an ogre that can club you. You can't get in to this floor. Well, that's when I realized my best bet to win the game at this point is to pre-drink might, haste, or invisibility before going down. But at that point, I had no identifying potions. I had like 1, and it was useless. But I have all the time in the world, so I pre-drink 1 potion at a time to try to identify haste, might, or berserk, or something that could give me an edge. And lucky for me, I got an early haste. I figured I could, wait out anything else that was negative. So I went downstairs, pulled Pykel up, backed off, killed him, went through, and that decision making, all of that decision making, is the only reason that I now have a whip of electricity. It's the only reason that I now am on the cusp of being able to buy power and win the game. And very soon I'm going to hit that power spike and just leverage it for the win, for the easy win, and gain more and more resources. So the big thing that I'm impressing upon and want to make this video to talk about, I could have died 5 times by now, very easily. By being extremely cautious, by having a safety first mentality, by running away, by training stealth only to level 2 so that I could get disengages off of but not wasting any more experience on stealth, which I desperately needed to get my attacks to fail less often. By taking risks and using fireball at 25% fail, but only when I could safely back off from it. That's how I've been winning. And that's how I've quote unquote earned my right to potentially get the power. Yeah, sure. In about 5-10 floors, I'm going to be way ahead. And at the end of the game, I'll probably have an int plus 10 ring and be like, oh, look at my dope gargoyle with 15 runes or whatever. But never make the mistake of thinking that a game of Crawl is won in Zot. You win Crawl on D1, on D2, when you avoid a jackal, when you draw out a unique, when you put an enemy between you and Sigmund so that you can run extra squares before he catches up. Crawl isn't won in the end game. It's won by good decision making and safety and good tactics in the beginning. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go and play this run.